Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm not going to wait for anybody to hop on today. It's Saturday. I didn't tell you guys I was coming on, but I did want to give you my top tips on how to unfuck yourself before you even begin, because I think sometimes we need to hear somebody give us permission to do things. Sometimes we feel like, well, I'm just being selfish, or I want to be realistic, or I don't know. There's a lot of games that we play with ourselves in our mind and in our head. And so I want to be somebody who gives you the permission to do the things that you need to do, right? So my first tip, say hi when you guys hop on. My first tip is to get out of your own way, right? Just get out of the mindset that you suck at meal prep, or you suck at meal planning, or you just don't have time to do this, or you tried it before and you failed, so you're not going to be able to do it again, or whatever. You need to get out of your own way. I sucked at meal planning and meal prepping when I first started. Hey, Brittany. And I just kept going, right? I sucked at the beginning. It took forever. I hated it, but I knew that it was going to get me where I wanted to be. I knew my nutrition was the hardest part for me. Working out, super simple. Press play, get it done, not a problem. My nutrition was hard. Hey, Helga. And so I just needed to get out of my own way. I needed to stop with the excuses. I needed to stop saying I didn't have time to do it. I needed to stop. Oh, you can't see me. What do you mean you can't see me? What does that mean? Can the rest of you see me? Hey, Alicia. Okay, I can sort of see me, I think. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Anyways, I needed to stop with the excuses that were holding me back, right? I needed to get out of my own way. I needed to decide. Meal prep, meal planning is a thing I want to do. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to stop telling myself that I can't. Have you seen meatheads, right? Those people at the gym, have you seen those people? They can meal prep. They can meal plan. A bunch of those assholes are doing math all day with like macros and shit. You can do this, right? So that's tip number one. Get out of your own way. Tip number two. While you're getting out of your own way, right? While you're physically moving yourself out of your own way, I want you to physically move all of the other people in your life out of your way too. I cannot tell you the number of times I hear from people, my clients, people who are thinking about hiring me as their coach, friends, family, right? They're like, well, my husband just he's not on board. And I'm like, who fucking cares? There's probably going to be a lot of swearing in this video. So if you're watching with your children and you care about that, you may want to not. Like, who cares, right? Like, if he doesn't want to do it, then he doesn't have to do it, right? He's a grown-ass man. He can do two things. He can eat what you're eating and like it or complain or whatever, who cares? Or he can make his own fucking food. He is a grown-ass man. What would he do if you were not here, right? Or he can eat out, or he can do whatever he wants, right? Fun fact, Michael was not on board when I first started this. He was like, you can do your thing, but I'll support you, and I'm not gonna, tell you that you can't and all of these things, but like, I'm not interested. That's totally fine. I'm not doing this for you, bro. This is for me. So I appreciate you sitting off to the sidelines and just letting me do my thing, right? So don't let others slow you down. Don't let the people in your life who are telling you, you're going to meal prep now? Or you're going to be one of those people? Yeah, bitch, I am. What of it? Right? Like, so many times we let the people around us prevent us from doing the things that we want to do and being the people that we want to be. Healthy people, people who give a shit about our bodies, those types of things. Like, why are you letting that outside person affect what you do? Don't. Stop doing that. If you want to do this, then you do it. And somehow, and it may require some personal development, which is something that I work on with my clients, for you to just like get mentally in your head, like, hey, Brittany, so many Brittany's on today. Oh, hey, Sarah. Get right with like why you're doing this, and then you have to put on like I don't care that my friend thinks that this is stupid. I don't care, right? I'm gonna meal prep. I'm gonna meal plan. And like, really, how dumb is it that somebody wants to make you feel bad for making healthier choices? Like, who's in the wrong here, right? Everyone should be supporting you for this, and if they're not, right? They are in the wrong, not you, okay? So tip number 1, get out of your own way. Tip number 2, don't let others slow you down. I don't care how close they are to you personally. Those are the people that are going to hurt you the worst. They're going to hurt you the most often, and you just have to freaking get over it. It is what I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. Move on, right? Guess who's meal prepping his own shit these days and like caring? That husband who wasn't going to do it, right? They come around. You got to keep going. Tip number 3, final tip, okay? Biggest, best one I got. Fail forward. You are going to suck at this, and I have said this all week. It's not going to be fun. You are going to be terrible at it. It is going to take forever. You're going to not buy enough, or you're going to buy too much, or, you know, whatever. It's going to suck. You're going to learn from it, okay? Fail forward. Don't fail and quit. Fail forward. That's what I have done. That is how I have continued to make progress. I still fail sometimes. Like I told you guys, this last week, we had to go back to the grocery store because we didn't buy enough food. Michael is doing a lot of failing forward because, like I said, he just started prepping his own stuff. So he wasn't really using the containers before, and now he is. And he's like, God, I suck at like figuring out this container thing. And he's getting better at it, right? He's failing forward. You are going to fail forward too. You're not going to be amazing at the start. You're never amazing at anything when you first try it, right? You figure it out. You learn as you go. You all are going to do that very same thing, okay? So hopefully those sorts of things, hearing those sorts of things helps you sort of wrap your head around what we have ahead of us as far as meal planning and meal prepping goes, right? Decide that you're going to do it. Don't let anybody slow you down, and then learn from your mistakes and keep on going, okay? So I do have time today, or I shouldn't say have time. I have made a little time to start my planning for the week. And so I thought if you guys were here and wanted to be a part of that and see sort of how that's done, it's a little bit weird, obviously, like you can't physically watch me do it. But I thought I would walk you through exactly what I do, right? Which is basically what I did on Wednesday, but I'm like really doing it for myself for this week right now. So like I shared on Wednesday, one of my, best money saving tips is to shop at home first. So I already did that. I wrote down, just because I had to come in here, I would typically do this in my kitchen, obviously, like the meats we already have in our freezer, so I don't have to buy meat. Lucky is not having their 5 for $25 sale this week, so we're not going to buy a ton of meat. So I shopped for the things that we already have in our freezer. And then I also looked in our cabinets to see like what do we have that I'm interested in eating. Fun fact, we do not have like a pantry. I don't know if you guys live in a home that has a pantry, but I grew up in a home that had a pantry that was filled to the brim with food. And, I mean, canned goods, cereals, baking stuff, like just so much food. We don't have one of those, and we don't want one because I want to eat fresh, right? So like in our pantry right now, we have like a bunch of processed crap. And by pantry, I literally mean like one cupboard in our kitchen. We have some processed crap that our children eat, like cookies and goldfish and whatever, cereal, crackers, that sort of stuff. And then we have a few canned goods like beans and corn. We have some pasta, and that's pretty much it. That's all we got, right? So I wrote down pasta because I don't like to use my yellows on beans. So I wrote down pasta. Whoops. And I dropped that under the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my meal planner, and I wanted to show you sort of the modification that I have used, hey Ashton, to create for the meal plan that I am currently following, right? Which is not necessarily something that any of you would be following, when we start with the April Badass Bootcamp. But because I am doing timed nutrition, and I am following a very specific program, I still use the containers, but my trainer tells me exactly which containers I get to eat with which containers. Which at first, when I first heard that, I was like, I don't like to be told what to do. Like, I'm not really into that. I like to do what I want. And then when I started, I was like, oh my God, this made my life so much easier. So let me show you the modification that I made. Typically, this meal planner book just says on the side, like breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, from there. What I did was I covered that up and I put the times that I'm eating, okay? So I eat at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, again at 3, I have my post-workout shake and a fruit, and then I have my post-workout meal, right? So I just switched that up. And then what I did was I took the containers that I have to eat together, and I just made little Post-its so that I can see visually what containers I need to use, and then I can just plug in food in that little column, right? And here's what's fun about the program that I'm doing right now. The only 2 meals that actually matter are these pre-workout and post-workout meal. It just matters that my workout has to go in between them. The rest of these meals, like I can switch this one and I can put it up here, and I can take this one down and put it down here. Like, it doesn't matter, right? So the only meals that matter are these 2 meals. But again, this is just for the program that I'm doing right now. Like, this doesn't, you wouldn't have to do any of that. But I will say that matching up my containers first, like ahead of time, like deciding I'm going to have a protein and a carb and a vegetable, is way easier than being like, which protein am I going to have? Will I also have a vegetable with it? Maybe I want to combine a carb with it too, right? This has just made it so much easier, which is why I will continue to eat this way. And I'll be sharing a lot more about that in the April Badass Bootcamp. So where am I going to start, right? I have my containers. I know what I need to eat. I'm going to start with the ads and the foods that I know that I already have, right? So berries. I'm totally eating strawberries, blueberries, or blackberries this week. They are 4 for $5, okay? So on my fruits, I'm going to switch this back because that's not how I like to eat those. So for my very first meal of the day, I need a fruit and I need a protein, right? So I'm going to plan on having strawberries, okay? So I'm just going to write on there, and I always use pencil. It's just easier. If you make mistakes, you can erase it. So I'm going to write strawberries. Oops, broke my lid. And then for my red, I like to do 2 boiled eggs. So I say 2 boiled eggs. And you can use your teaspoons for other things, but I use my teaspoons for peanut butter always, because peanut butter is life. So then I'm going to have peanut butter. Okay? So I wrote it on there. Strawberries, 2 boiled eggs, peanut butter. That's my first meal of the day. Now I go straight to my grocery list. Michael has already started creating his list because he's on top of his game. And I'm going to write strawberries. Now, this is where knowing how much you need matters, right? I put my containers away. I need a purple container, so that's 1 cup of strawberries for every single day of the week, because I eat the same shit every single day of the week. Again, you don't have to do this, but this is what I do. So I need 7 cups of strawberries, okay? Once you cut off the top of the strawberry and cut it in half, you're gonna get 2.5-ish purple containers from 1 carton of strawberries. How do I know that? Because I've been doing this, right? Maybe you don't know that, right? So you measure the little carton of strawberries so you can see how much it weighs, and you can eyeball or guesstimate how many of those containers you're gonna need. Super simple, right? So I know that, and this is how my brain works. I know that I need 7 cups of strawberries, right? So I'm just gonna say 1 container would give me 2, so I'm gonna buy 3 containers of strawberries, okay? And I write 3. Okay, so that's how I know how many containers of strawberries I'm going to need. Now, moving on. Because I'm still talking about berries, I'm just gonna move on to the next place where I know I'm gonna use berries. I'm gonna continue to have that spinach, feta, and blueberry salad this week. It's delicious, I enjoy it. If you guys have questions while I'm doing this, you can absolutely pop them into the comments. I will answer your questions. So, blueberries. One of those little containers of blueberries is not quite a cup of blueberries. So, this one gets a little bit tricky. Like it says on here on the ad, 6 ounces of blueberries, right? So I know that that's a little less than a cup. So in theory, I would need to obviously buy more than 7 of those containers. But typically I have a few leftover strawberries, so I get 5 or 6 of those containers depending on what they look like and how full they are. Like, make sure you get the containers that are super full, okay? So I'm gonna write on my little thing here, blueberry, feta, spinach, spinach salad, right? So I just write it right in there. And then on my list, I'm gonna write I need blueberries. And this is how you don't forget, right? When you go straight from your plan to your grocery list, you don't forget about buying certain things. Like you don't get home and you're like, well, fuck, I don't have spinach, right? So blueberries, I'm gonna buy 6 of those this week. 6 containers of those. And then I need spinach. I buy bagged spinach. It's just easier for me. Like, why am I trying to wash spinach and cut off all that stem and all that other stuff? They're like $2.50 or something for a bag. Sometimes they're on sale. I didn't see any in the ads on sale, but sometimes they are on sale. And like I could do this romaine hearts, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to. And I put spinach in my shake. So like once I buy the bag, whatever's left over in the bag, I can put in my shake. I'm not gonna put romaine hearts in my shake. Yep. So spinach, I'm just gonna write 1 bag. Okay. Now I also need spinach for my shake. So I'm actually gonna, I need to look and see how much spinach we have from this week. I might be able to freeze some spinach, some leftover spinach from this week. I think 1 bag's probably gonna be enough. So I'm gonna put a star next to that because I need to look at it when I get off of this chair. Right? I need feta cheese, so I'm gonna write that there. That's typically pretty expensive, I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes you get like lucky and it's like $1 off or whatever, but nah, it's pretty expensive and worth it. And that's all I need. I think I still have lemons from last week. The dressing that I use on that salad is lemons and balsamic vinegar. Lemon juice and balsamic vinegar. Sometimes a smidge of oil, but hardly ever. Okay, moving on to my next meal. So the hardest meals for me to figure out are the ones that have a protein, a veggie, and a carb. Because they're well-rounded, right? They're not like snacky. Oh, what did you say? What if you're not feeling what's for snack dinner? Do you rotate or just deal? I just deal. It's the only food I have because I don't buy anything else. So I just deal. Yeah. There's so many times, you guys, where I do not want to eat the food that I've prepped. Of course I don't, right? I just want to eat pizza and Chipotle and drink whiskey and have a, piece of candy instead. But I already bought it. This is my meal plan. This is how I know I'm going to get to my goals. And I know when I eat off plan, it just makes me mad at myself. I just get angry about it, right? So let's just skip all that stuff and just eat what I had planned. Now, saying that, 8 weeks ago, I lived a life of 80-20, where I was like mostly good, but also planned to be bad. And so it was easier for me to follow my meal plan Monday through Thursday because I knew that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was going to be a shit show. That didn't get me to my goals either, right? So you just sort of have to figure out and be realistic with yourself. What you're going to do. Are you going to force yourself to eat the food that you don't really want to eat? And, possibly lose some weight or, whatever. Or are you going to be relaxed with yourself and allow yourself to be like, I don't want to do a blueberry feta and spinach salad today. I'm going to buy a cheeseburger. I mean, it's up to you, your goals. You do you. Okay. So this week, for this meal here, for my green, red, yellow, orange, and a teaspoon, I did like snacky foods, and I actually really enjoyed it. Not snacky foods, I guess. I did cottage cheese. I did tomatoes because tomatoes were on sale last week. I did 2 corn tortillas, and then I had my sunflower seeds. An orange is always a sunflower seed for me. You can fill the orange with like dressings, and again, I don't like salad, even though I'm eating one all week. So I've been just having a shot of sunflower seeds, which sounds weird and gross, but it's delicious. One of my favorite parts of the day. So I think this week, tomatoes are on sale again. I don't want to do cottage cheese and tomatoes again. I don't want to. So I think that I will do something else instead. I think I will do asparagus is on sale. For the last several weeks, I've done like a sort of a hash, if you will. I've done like chicken sausage with potatoes and then a vegetable. So either like Brussels sprouts or asparagus or onions and peppers, and bell peppers are on sale. So I might do a little bit of a hash thing. I'm just trying to decide what protein I want to use. I think I might chicken this week. Well, ground turkey. So the things that we already have in the freezer are ground turkey. We have some fish. Michael does the whole Lent thing, so like Fridays are a fuck fest here. Tri-tip, we have chicken, and then in the pantry we also have pasta. So one of the things I did not do was talk to Michael about all the things that he had scheduled this week. So it's also spring break for me this week. I forgot to mention that. So I'm just like home, and quite honestly, it's going to be a shit show. Like right now I'm behind in my meals because I don't have alarms set on my phone, and I just sort of do whatever I want. Like I should probably be putting my kids to bed, but here I am with you guys. So like whatever, right? So this week's going to be very interesting. But, you know, because I'm home, I might just make, okay, so here's what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have chicken, and I'm gonna have potatoes, and Brussels sprouts. And I'm gonna swap that. I'm gonna do Brussels sprouts and asparagus, so I don't have the same thing every day. So I'm going to Brussels or asparagus. I was really nervous about doing like reheated asparagus. It was totally fine. Don't be nervous. So we have chicken. So I don't have to buy the chicken, which is amazing. We do not have potatoes, however. So I'm going to write potatoes. Whenever we buy potatoes, we buy like one of them 5-pound bags. So I don't really write any number for that. So for Brussels sprouts. So if I'm going to swap, I'm going to do Brussels sprouts Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So I need 4 cups of Brussels sprouts. I'm probably going to need more than that because we always have them for dinner. And then for asparagus, typically speaking, for a thing of asparagus, it's 2 greens. If you cut them up into tinier pieces and you measure them out, it's typically 2 cups of asparagus. So, I need 3 days of asparagus, so I'm going to buy 2 bunches of asparagus, I guess is what you call it. And that's all I need to buy for that meal. And then I'm good there. I already have seeds from last week, sunflower seeds from last week. And then the teaspoon that I need to use for that meal is also like some oil and stuff like that. That's what your teaspoon is. So if you're cooking oil, so I'm probably going to cook the chicken in some sort of spray oil, the potatoes, the Brussels sprouts, or the asparagus. So I don't eat a teaspoon with that meal. I just count that as my oil for my cooking. So now the pre-workout meal is my Shakeology Always. That is the spinach I was referring to. It also has to be a red, which is the protein that is in my Shakeology powder, so I don't have to worry about that. And then yellow, which is milk. So I write milk, my kids drink milk, whatever, right? We're gonna buy a thing of milk. And then I use PB2 in my shake. I also already have that, so I don't have to buy anything for that. I do need a fruit for my post-workout. That is where we are scheduled to have our fruit. It's good for you to have sugar right after your workout because your muscles need it and they will use it fastest right after a workout. So I think I'm going to do apples this week. Fuji or Opal apples. Is that the yellow ones? I will not be buying those. So Fuji apples are 98 cents a pound, so I'm going to write apples. And I need 1 for every single day of the week, so I'm going to write 7 apples. Okay, so far I have planned every meal I'm eating this week, and this is my grocery list, right? Except for dinners, obviously. I haven't made it to dinners yet. So let's talk about dinners, right? All right, so I'm going to use some of these things that I have already, okay? So I'm going to go through and I'm going to space it out. Now, in my little meal plan book here, right? It has 1 day of the week for all of the things. So all of these meals that I already did, they're all going to be the same across the board, right? but the dinners are gonna change. So, don't mind me, this is just like crap falling out of my meal planning, like old grocery lists and stuff. So I think that Michael will probably have a track meet on like, I don't know, Thursday or one of those days. So it's gonna, hey Miranda, it's gonna need to be something fast. And pasta really worked for us last week as something fast because I made it on like Monday and then we ate it again on Thursday. And like it was literally a reheat and eat, which was great. So I'm gonna plan for that again. We already have a thing of ground turkey, so I don't need to get any of that. We already have pasta, so I don't need to buy any of that. We do need some pasta sauce. So I'm going to write that. When you buy your pasta sauce, for those of you that are planning on using the containers, if it is 4 grams of sugar or less, you can use it as a green container. If it is more than 4 grams of sugar, it counts as a purple. Food for thought, okay? So all I need to buy for that meal for 2 days, right, is pasta sauce. This is how you keep your grocery bill cheap, folks, okay? So I'm gonna write for Monday, we're gonna have pasta, and I'll just say Wednesday we're gonna have pasta, but that'll probably change, right? We can always swap them around. As long as we have the ingredients, we can move them wherever we'd like to move them. Okay, so then we have tri-tip steaks or something in the freezer. So we're gonna use those this week. So Tuesday, I'm gonna say tri-tip steaks. We'll probably have a baked potato that night. I already put that 5-pound bag of potatoes in there, right? I don't need to write any more because that's gonna last us. Baked potatoes, and then I think for a vegetable, I think I'll do caramelized onions. That's good on steak, onions, caramelized. And, you know, when you're having a full cup of vegetables, right? Like, it can all be the same vegetable, onions. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a decent sized piece of steak, right? 3/4 of a cup, 6 ounces-ish. Or is that 6 ounces? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, 6 ounces. We can have a shit ton of caramelized onions with that and eat it also in our potatoes. So that's yummy, right? You don't have to be like all creative with it. So tri-tip, baked potato, onions. That's a red, a yellow, and a green. Done for Tuesday. So the only thing that I need to buy is onions, and you know, I think I actually already have 2, so I'm gonna put a star next to that. For Thursday, let's do, oh, I'm totally gonna move that to Thursday. Yeah, because we're gonna have tacos on Tuesday, duh. But whatever, I'm gonna write it over here. So we're gonna have fajitas, yes, please and thank you, because bell peppers are 98 cents a piece this week. So I'm gonna write those on here, bell pepper. Depending on the size of your bell peppers, like typically 1 bell pepper is a green, but we're gonna have bell pepper and onion, of course, because fajitas. So I really only need 1 bell pepper for that. So I probably will need an onion. So I'm gonna take that star off of there. Okay, and then we will need tortillas. 2 corn tortillas is a yellow, just an FYI. We already have some Greek yogurt that we like to use as our sour cream. And what else would go on there? Chicken. We're gonna use chicken, but we already have chicken. So I don't think we need more chicken. Okay, Friday, let's see. Oh, Brussels sprouts, right. So let's do a Brussels sprout hash. Brussels hash. Guys, we eat that almost every week, I swear to God. If Brussels sprouts are on sale, like, we're having Brussels sprout hash. It is what it is. If you have not seen that recipe, it is on my like page, Ashley Amaral, Living the Dream. You should definitely check that out. So we'll need some Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna add, so I already have Brussels sprouts on there, right? Because I'm having that for my lunch. So I'm just gonna erase the 4. Michael needs a cup, I need a cup, right? So I'm gonna say we need 6 cups. Right, I added 2 to 4. It makes 6. This is not hard. We also already have potatoes, and yeah, I just realized I never put eggs on this list, and I need 14 for my boiled eggs, so I'm gonna put that on there now. All right, Brussels sprout hash, done. Okay, Saturday and Sunday, I'm gonna actually stop there and leave those open for Michael so he can actually have like an opinion about our dinners. Sometimes he cares enough to do that. And also like next Saturday is Harley's birthday party and Sunday is her actual birthday. So I'm not actually sure what's happening on those days. So I'm gonna stop right there. But guys, I don't know how long this video has been, but I just totally meal prepped, or I'm sorry, meal planned for the entire week. And some of you were here for the entire thing. Like, I'm done. Like, finished. It doesn't have to be hard. Don't make it hard, right? So my suggestion for those of you who are just going to try and jump in this weekend, which is awesome, start small. Just do snacks this week, right? Just do snacks. Don't overwhelm yourself. Pick something you want to prep this week, lunches, breakfast, whatever it is, and just do that, okay? I'm excited to get started wow, that just bumped up to a hell of people watching this video. Holy Toledo. I'm excited to get started with you all. Several of you have jumped on the Meal Prep Kickstarter kit, which is awesome. I'm excited to get that group up and running March 29th. I will open up that group. Definitely get that order in before Sunday so you get access to my 5-day clean eating meal plan. And then, yeah, we'll get going. I'm excited. You know, because this really is my life. This is how I do it. It has absolutely changed our journeys, right? Our results. Because you can keep working out, but if you're not eating right, you're wasting your time. And I know this personally because I did it for years, right? It's just, you gotta do both. You can't just work out and eat whatever you want. You're not gonna see the results. You're gonna get angry. You're gonna stop working out altogether. And then it's not a good combo. You gotta get your nutrition and your workouts at the same time. So I'm gonna go. I don't see any other questions on here. Sarah, I love the term fail forward. That speaks to me so deeply. Oh, good, I'm glad. I like to fail forward. You're gonna fail. It's gonna happen, right? And if you set this expectation where you're expecting yourself to not fail, you're really setting yourself up for disaster, right? So be gentle, be kind, plan to fail, and learn from it. All right. I'm going to go, you guys. I'm going to go put my kids to bed. And by put my kids to bed, I mean I'm going to take a nap also. See you guys later. Bye.